Welcome to Getting to Know UBC. Today, our very special guest is Jarris Kentle. And hello, Jarris.
Hey Justin, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks so much for agreeing to do this and for being with us. We're recording this on a Monday night, about 7:45. And how long have you been home?
I have been home about an hour.
Okay. And so tell everybody where you were coming home from, where you work, and kind of what you do.
I'm a manager at Verizon Wireless. Right now, I am, because of the coronavirus, I'm in Midwest City, which ironically is the store that I was working as a sales rep before I got promoted to manager in Norman. But yeah, that's where I am now. Currently, there are two stores in the metro, Verizon stores that are open. Yeah. And Midwest City is one of those. So right now I'm working about 3 days a week. This week, last week I had the whole week off. I was on call, but I never got called in, thankfully. Okay. So basically I had a little vacation. So good time with the fam.
Nice.
But week I went back, worked this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we'll see what happens. We're on a week by week schedule. So I don't know what my schedule is going to be next week. So right now we're on a week by week.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are experiencing that in this time of not just the isolation part of it, but also the every day is different. Every week is different, those kind of things. You have a wife named Allison, and you have two boys named Timothy and Jeremy. And what are Timothy and Jeremy's ages?
Jeremy is 5. Timothy is 2.
Okay. And they've been kind of going back and forth to Grandma and Grandpa's in Texas. Are they home right now?
They just left today.
Okay.
To travel to East Texas. Her parents have a farmhouse out there, so they're going out there to have a little fun, get away from things, do some fishing. So I'm glad that they have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Now, working in the Verizon store and working with cell phones and telecommunications and doing sales and managerial stuff, when you were kind of seeing the trajectory of your career, you and I are about the same age. So you were in college about, what, 15, 17 years ago, something like that?
Yeah, went to college in 99, got out in 03.
Okay. That's the
December
exact years. 03. That's the exact years for me. What year were you born, Jarris?
81.
Okay. All right. Well, I was born in 80, so I got that on you.
You're old.
I am. Thank you. Appreciate that. So you went to college at Ouachita Baptist University. Not the only University Baptist Church member from Ouachita, by the way. It's we've got some other people. But when you were going to college at Ouachita, if you could have looked ahead 15 years, is this the career you would have seen yourself in?
You cut out a little bit. I'm sorry. What was that?
If you could have looked ahead from Ouachita 15 years down the road, is this where you would have seen yourself doing what you're doing?
Nowhere.
What did you think you'd be doing?
I would probably be retiring from the NBA. That was my goal. Basketball has been a part of my life as long as I can remember. Picked up a ball around 4 years old and never put it down. It awarded, one state championship in high school, awarded me a scholarship to play ball at Ouachita Baptist, 4-year starter. After
you still thought you were headed when you enrolled at Ouachita, which was then, was it an NAIA school then, or was it Division II when you went?
Division II.
And so you still thought from there, I'm going NBA?
Yes.
Okay.
No doubt. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Not to be cocky. I just I had a lot of confidence in myself and in my ability. Long story short, I played 4 years, started, and I had to come back for another semester to graduate. So after my 4 years, I went to a few pro camps, one in Chicago, and then I went to one in Utah. I did okay in Chicago. A few scouts were talking to me, but they weren't serious about anything. They were just giving me info, telling me things to work on, telling me who to talk to. So that was the Chicago camp. The Utah camp went totally different. Some of the best basketball I ever played in my life, and I did it on a really good stage, to the point where after the camp was over, I had an agent come up to me and he was like, "Hey, we really like your game. We wanna offer you a contract right now." Like, he wanted me to sign to play in Italy, like, right then. And overseas money is really good because there's no tax. So
Right.
I was looking at that. I was like, man, this is amazing. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I have one more semester and then I graduate. And that was a dream of my mom, my dad. They wanted me to graduate. So I told him, I was like, look, I got one semester. I got one semester, and then can I call you? Like, can I do this? Can I sign with you? Can y'all wait for me? I just want to go back for this semester and get my degree. And he was like, sure. Just take my contact. He gave me his card. He was like, call me immediately after you graduate and we'll get everything set up. So I'm like, cool. So I go back.
Your playing
semester,
eligibility's done, right? You don't have any more playing eligibility?
No more no eligibility at all. I go back to get my semester done. In that semester, I meet Allison.
Okay.
Which was good. I meet Allison, but also in that semester, pickup game, freak accident, I tear my Achilles tendon.
Oh.
And I didn't know what to think. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. Long story short, I ended up having surgery, came back stronger than ever after the surgery. I ended up calling the agent that I talked to. He was like, "Man, where have you been? We've been waiting on you." Mind you, he didn't know anything about the injury, and I told him, I was like, "Look, what took so long is I tore my Achilles tendon." And as soon as I said that, it was almost like click.
Wow.
They didn't want to hear anything. Even when I would put my highlight tape out, give it to different agents, they call me, they talk to me. I had one particular agent. He was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "What do you mean, what's wrong with me?" He's like, "What's wrong with you? You have to have some. I'm looking at your tape. You have game. You can play. You can definitely play at this level. Like, it has to be something. Do you have a bad attitude? Like, what is it?" I was like, "I don't have a bad attitude. You can talk to my past coaches. They'll tell you." And he was like, "Well, it got to be something. What is it?" And I ended up telling him, I was like, "Look, to be honest, I tore my Achilles about 8 months ago. I had surgery, rehab, everything is back. I'm stronger. And again, all I hear is click, click, click." So that's the way it went for all of the agents that I was talking to. Yeah. And it got to the point where I just stopped telling people. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know, but a few people know. I did end up getting on a ABA team in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Play for a semi-pro team over there. And the reason I got on the team is because I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them I tore my Achilles. I just said, "Hey, just give me the ball. Let me get out there with you guys, and I'll show you what I can do." I played, I practiced, I worked out with them, and they signed me. And to this day, I don't regret not telling them that at all, because it's what allowed me to get on my team. I had too many people, like, basically hanging up the phone on me every time I would mention that I tore my Achilles. So
So
Yeah.
were you and Allison married before you went over to the Bahamas to play, or was that?
Yes.
And
We
so
were
how long did you
married.
play over there?
I played with them for 2 years. Now, what was crazy about it is they would fly me back and forth.
Wow.
So most of the games that we played were in the States.
Okay.
We had our practices and everything over there in the Bahamas. We had training camp and everything in the Bahamas, but our games were played in the States. Tennessee, Knoxville, Florida, Texas, you name it. They were mostly, so they were just flying me back and forth.
Wow.
While Allison was in Waco and she was still in seminary. So
Okay.
that's the way that went.